welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Winny. I am a content creator and an interior designer. I focus more on business and investment related content and at the same time interior design. So today I'm going to take you through how to become a social media manager. I'm going to be giving you tips on how to identify if you're fit to become a social media manager. I'm also going to be giving you all the steps that you need to follow. At the same time, I'm going to be providing you with the tools that you need to use to execute your work. And finally, I'm also going to be giving you accounts, especially from Instagram, that you can follow from big social media managers who you can learn from with time. Now more than ever, social media platforms play a very big role when it comes to the success of a business, because it's through these platforms that businesses get to interact with their customers. These are tips that I'm giving you from my own experience, since this is something I've personally done, and I'm going to be giving you a clear breakdown. And by the end of this video, you're going to be able to confidently trust in your skills as a social media manager. So before we get deep into this, it's very important to understand what social media management is. So social media management is the process of creating, scheduling, analyzing, and engaging with content posted on social media platforms such as Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, Twitter. It's not about posting pretty pictures. Social media management is all about strategy. It's about using content to build a brand, connect with customers, and drive real business results. Most of the brands that you see on Instagram, that you just look at their posts and you like them, or you like their captions, most probably there is a social media manager behind that brand. So who is a social media manager? This is perfect for creatives who enjoy storytelling, people who love content creation, strategists who enjoy planning and organizing, freelancers looking for remote income streams, and business owners who want to manage their brand online. Here is how you're going to know if you're the right fit. You enjoy being online and exploring trends. You love writing short and engaging captions. You're good at planning and organizing. You care about aesthetics, and you're curious about marketing and business in general. Well, now let's move to the skills you need to master as a social media manager. For you to be a successful social media manager, then you need to be perfect at these skills. One is caption creation, crafting a short, engaging, and on-brand message that people would want to engage with. Take an example. If you're a social media manager for a fashion design brand and you're writing a caption for a designer suit that the company or the brand has done, first you need to focus on the material of the suit. You also need to focus on the execution of the suit and why that particular potential client who is reading your caption would want to buy that suit. That is an example of how to frame your caption. I'm going to be giving you more short details later in this video. The second skill is content calendar planning. Remember when I mentioned that social media management is not all about posting pretty pictures, it's all about strategy. And that's why you need to plan your content before you put it out there. For example, most social media managers tend to plan a month ahead. You can also opt to plan a week ahead, whereby you have a column for the caption, you plan in your images, and you're planning the dates on which that particular post is supposed to go up. I'm also going to be providing you with an example of a sheet of how you can do this. So that is something we are going to be doing later in the video. The third skill is grid planning. With grid planning, you have to ensure that your grids are visually appealing. That is, when I open my Instagram and maybe go to your page, what I see there is something that appeals to my eyes. The third skill is content strategy. If you're keen on social media accounts, especially on Instagram, you'll notice that not every post is exactly the same. Some are made for engagement, some are made for sales, while others are made for education purposes. So this is something you need to be aware of, and especially in alignment with the brand that you're managing their socials for. The last skill is trend awareness. Remember when I said you're the perfect candidate if you like keeping up with the trends, because this is a very important skill when it comes to social media management. Why is this so? Trends help you reach more people, and if you're reaching more people, you get more engagement, and that translates to sales too. So you need to stay up to date with hashtags, audio trends, and algorithm updates. So now let's go to the tools that you need as a social media manager. Number one tool is Canva. Canva can be used for grid planning. It can also be used for content calendar planning. It can also be used to create Instagram posts, and especially for marketing purposes. And so it's a tool that you don't want to miss when you're a social media manager. Later, and Planoly. These are tools that you can use for content scheduling, and at the same time you can also use for grid planning. Google Sheets and Notion. These are tools that you can use for managing content calendar and content bank as well. So a content bank is basically a place where you store the visuals which you're yet to use for that particular social media account. CapCut and InShot. These are tools that you can use for editing your visuals. ChatGPT. This is a tool that you can use to brainstorm captions and content ideas. Well, with ChatGPT, you can come up with prompts that you generate, so it becomes easier over time for you to get your captions. But the most important part is after ChatGPT has created the captions for you, you need to go back and edit and make sure it looks as original as possible. Another tool is Instagram Insights. With this, you get to track performance, and through that you get to know if the efforts you're putting in are really paying off. So now let's get to tips for captions, content calendars, and grid planning. Caption writing tips. Start with a hook to grab attention. Keep it short and easy to read. Use emojis to make it fun and eye-catching. Ensure you include a call to action to tell your audience what to do next. Content calendar tips. Plan content weekly or monthly. Ensure you mix up your posts. For example, quotes, tips, product shots, deals. Ensure that your content aligns with events, launches, and holidays. Grid planning tips, and this, to be specific, is for Instagram. Pick a theme or color palette. Use templates to keep your designs consistent. Think of your feed as a magazine layout. Every post should look good on its own and also with the rest. Use preview tools to rearrange your posts before publishing. So now let's talk about content bank. The visuals that you thought you didn't need them, keep them in the content bank because you don't know when you might need to use them. Here is where you store the captions, the photos, and the videos which you have not yet used. Content bank basically helps you stay consistent even on a busy day. So before we end this video, and before I give you the accounts that I would recommend you follow on Instagram, let's look at weekly social media manager workflow. Day 1, plan and research. Review the brand's goals, check analytics from last week, research trends, hashtags, and competitors, and plan content themes for the week. Day 2, create captions and content. Write captions and ensure you include a hook and a call to action. Design graphics using a tool like Canva, and choose photos and videos that you're going to be using for your content calendar. Day 3, grid planning and scheduling. Arrange your posts visually. Schedule the posts using Later or Planoly. And lastly, on day 3, double check posting times and frequency. Day 4, build a content bank. Save extra posts on the content bank. That can be reels, that can be carousels or quotes. Ensure you organize reusable content and back up important files. Day 5, engage and monitor. Make sure that you're replying to comments and DMs. Like, share, or comment on follower posts. And most importantly, monitor shares, saves, and reach. Day 6, analyze performance. Ensure you check insights and performance data. Note the best performing content. Record the key metrics in a tracking sheet. Day 7, strategy update. Reflect on what worked, what needs to change, and adjust strategy where necessary. So just an important point to note, you don't have to do these steps on days as I just gave you, but it's just a summary of a workflow of a social media manager. And I hope that is going to really help you get organized and be the best candidate for this type of position. So why is it the right time to become a social media manager? Businesses are online, customers are online. As a social media manager, you're the bridge between the two. If you learn the right skills, use the right tools, and stay consistent, you can build a career and work remotely as a social media manager. I am now going to be leaving on the screen accounts on Instagram that I would advise you to go and follow. And so now the ball is on your court to get started and get your career moving. I wish you all the best, and I really hope you found this content helpful. I would really appreciate if you give it a like, subscribe if you're new, and leave a comment. So guys, thank you for watching, and I'm going to be seeing you in my next video.